This is a video about Volt Carbon Technologies, and they're in Canada. Now they're trading under two symbols. In Canada, they're trading under VCT, and in America, they're trading under TORVF. And I've been following this company for about 2 years now. And there's been some recent developments that I think are really going to move this company and move the stock price up. They have a couple of things main things. They have this air classifier, and they also are pretty far along on their solid state battery projects. So we're going to go into a few things here, and I really believe this company is going to go places. They're not very well known. Not many people are following it, but it's like it reminds me of Bitcoin. Remember when Bitcoin was like less than $1? And now you look at it, it's over 100,000, and people are saying, "Man, I wish I would have bought Bitcoin when it was $2 or whatever." I kind of think of this company the same way. I wish I would have bought Volt Carbon when it was 2 cents or 2.5 cents, where it is now, because this is probably one of the best companies I've ever run across, and they do have a future. All right, and I guess for the main part, you could consider this a longer term investment. However, if enough people start buying, the stock price will go up in the short term. So anyway, let's get started and look a little bit of the details of this company. Let's look at some hard data. So let's start with the share structure. So here we have 229 million shares outstanding. Market cap is only 5 million. Float 143 million. So not a lot of shares out there. Let's look at financials. So let's start with the balance sheet. Let's look at the latest one, the quarterly. So you got 129,000 total assets, 32,000 cash, short-term investments 69,000. Total assets 3 million something. Total liabilities half that, 1.4 million for your total liabilities. Now there's no revenue yet because, like I said, they're still in development. Now this is 2023. We don't know what the latest. Well, let's look at the quarterly here. Okay, 731. No revs. They've spent 420,000 last quarter. So that's pretty much it here. On the financials, like I said, they got more assets, twice the assets of liabilities, and a really nice share structure here with only 229 million out there. Okay, guys, there's that. Okay, this is one of their main things. This air classifier, separation of graphite from ore. Now, everybody else in the world uses a liquid process that uses a lot of harsh chemicals. And what they've done is they've developed an air system where all they use is air to separate this graphite. So it's amazing here. It's very cost effective, and it doesn't generate any, you know, environmental concerns like all these other ones do. So this proprietary, they've patented it and everything. They've got a couple of prototypes, and they want to build a bigger one. All right. So you can read more about this on their website again. Graphite purification up to a 95% purity, just amazing, right? And they produce some really, really high quality graphite with this. Okay, the other one from the air qualifier is they are developing solid state lithium batteries. So, and they're pretty far along on this, this is the holy grail of lithium batteries, is this solid state stuff. So let's go to their page. This is how they started with this solid ultra battery. Um, and this is their other part of the company, the solid ultra battery. And this is the one where they recently had over 1,000 cycles with 80% at the end of that, which is, really impressive also. Here you see the guys again. Um, let's go to their website. I think we're already, oh, here it is. Here's their website. Here's their timeline. They started in 2019, and they're making a lot of progress here. And this could be a big thing also, I believe. Right now they're producing these pouch batteries which have special applications in certain things. Here's graphs of their retention. Look at this, amazing. That's in 2023, and now they're into 2024, and they've already achieved this. This one says 8,800. They're already over 1,000. So this is the other big deal. This solid ultra battery. Everybody's trying to get this. Everybody's trying to do this. So this should be pretty big. Okay, here's their store where they're actually selling the product here. These flakes that come out are huge compared to what everybody else is producing. So you have your jumbo natural flakes. It's pretty reasonable here, 25 bucks for these containers. And so they're actually making a little bit of money on this. Of course they need, look at this one's out of stock. They need a larger one that they're going to use to process larger quantities of graphite. But right now people can buy these, companies can buy these and check them out and see how they work for their products. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's talk about the people that are running Volcarbon. And we'll start with V-Bond Lee. He is the CEO, President, Chairman of the Board. It's a little bit of a strange name here. I don't know how he got that, V-Bond. But this guy has a work ethic that's unbelievable. He's like driven, okay? He reminds me of Elon Musk, really does. Also, he's strictly honest. There's not going to be any exaggeration in if you look at the news releases, it's strictly the facts, ma'am. No embellishment. And he's worked at some pretty cool companies here. Here's General Electric, Director of Engineering, Sumitomo, a lot of other companies. He's got like over 30 years. This guy's an engineer. I think he's a genius. So this guy is very impressive. V-Bond is very impressive. Like I said, he reminds me of Elon Musk. Okay, here's their CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Carmelo Morelli. Got 20 years, over 20 years of reporting, chartered professional accountant, member of all these boards. Also does a lot of work for other companies, listed companies, public companies. So he's got his own group here, Morelli Group. So this guy's pretty impressive as well. Then we have the geologist, Christian DeRosier, highly experienced, 50 years of exploration, all sorts of qualifications here. This guy's also very impressive. And finally, here's the group. There's V-Bond over here on the left, and these are some other people, and they're holding up, looks like a graphite drone or something. Anyway, these are the people at Volcarbon. I've really been impressed with all of them, and especially V-Bond. This is the meteor or asteroid story. What happened was about 214 million years ago, this huge asteroid, it was actually about 6 kilometers across, hit in northern Quebec, and it made this huge crater, okay? And the heat of this, let me go to another page here. The heat what it actually did is, here's some more pictures of it here. It took 1,600 years to cool, okay? So this asteroid hit in a metal, a lot of iron deposit, and a lot of graphite was there too. So what happened is, because this was all melted, over the years the graphite floated to the top. And so now it's real easy to mine this, okay? Because it's right on the surface. And this is where Volcarbon has a lot of their um, mining claims, okay? In fact, I've got a few pictures, or one picture where the graphite is just sticking out of the ground and they're cutting it. Look at this guy. He's cutting pure graphite. It's coming right out of the ground. And it's pure because it all came to the top. It floated to the top. So very rich graphite deposits, very high percentage. In fact, the highest percentages of graphite are from this crater here in Quebec, where Volcarbon has a lot of mining claims. Okay, let's talk about their projects, what they got going on here. Let's look at this Birkwood classifier, or I'm sorry, Green Battery Minerals. Now they partnered with these guys, with Green Battery Minerals, and they have some kind of an agreement for a portion of their graphite, and they're actually going to be processing the graphite for Green Battery. Okay, Green Battery is a public company, OTC GBMIF on the Toronto GEM. Let's look at some other projects. This is okay. This is that Manitou. This is that crater, and they have their own mining claims here, as you can see. And so they're going to get their own graphite also. And we have here's another graphite project, mineral property, where they have these claims here. What else they got? Oh, here's one interesting one. Mount Copeland mineral property. Here we got some rare earth minerals that they're looking at. So they've got claims there. You can look at all this on their website. They got a really nice website. So anyway, that's their here's a molybdenum project and a lithium project, where they're looking for molybdenum and lithium. Alright guys, there's the projects. Okay, here's a quick summary of their news. The latest one was on 12/5, just a few days ago. And in this one they get 140 to 340 per ton carbon credits for their air qualifier when they produce this graphite. And it only costs them about 110 per ton to mine it. So it's like they're getting paid to mine this. Like $200 to mine it. So their mining costs are actually negative. That's unheard of. And here's another one. They get all their financing with private placements. So they just closed this one for $300,000. And one thing that I came to realize is, if they're getting all these private investors, these guys are pros. I mean, they're not going to throw money at something that they don't believe in, that doesn't sound impressive, right? So they've done a few of these. They don't have any convertible debt. There's no convertible debt. So here they win this award here, a Green Fund Aerospace, and another capital raise here. And finally, I like this one. They've developed these lithium metal batteries, and they just completed over 1,000 cycles, and it's at 80%, which is really impressive. So there's some of their news that they've come out with. You can read about it on their website in detail, but this company is growing. Okay, this is from Didi Amanda, and this shows the dollars traded for 200 days. So you can see that there's not much activity here yet. We did have an increased activity here on 12/2, $8,000 traded. But as you go down here, this is 200 days worth of trading data on the right side here. you can see that nothing much has really happened. I mean, there's been some periods where there's been some buying. Uh, the 200-day high is 6 cents right here, and she's just gone down a little bit over, but it's been very gradual. And some of your highs here, 3 cents. Here's your 200-day low here of 75, 0075, and here actually uh, a penny here, a 200-day low back in November. But she's moved up since then, and she's starting to really go here on the chart. You can see a gradual rise, and this thing is thin. There's not a lot of shares out there. Our drag ratio here is at 8, which is really good. That means she's 8 times more likely to go up. Your RSI here, 65, 60, 51. So this kind of gives you an idea of what's been going on with the dollars traded perspective. So there is that. Again, I think of this as the Bitcoin of stocks. I mean, here you go, guys, 2 cents. I wish I would have bought it, right? So, like I said, this is a longer term investment, but she will move up. If there's any kind of halfway decent activity, this thing could go 5, 10, 20, maybe more cents in the short term. But I would definitely hang on to these shares because this company is going to do great things, all right? Okay, in summary, like I said, I've known this company for 2 years. I've followed them and watched them grow, and they have great management. In fact, they got a mini Elon Musk running the place. So that's probably the biggest thing. A company is only as good as their management, and they have this guy V-Bond is just amazing. Also, their share structure is very reasonable, somewhere around 200 million. And no convertible debt, guys. Zero convertible debt. The best way for a company to raise money is through private placements, and that's what they're doing. You got all these pretty big investors throwing money at them, and they're not going to do that unless they think they got a good thing. And these two main things they have here, like this air classifier, which is revolutionary. Nobody else has this. It's more economical, more environmentally safe. In fact, I don't even know if you can get permitted for wet graphite process in Canada or the United States. Most of the graphite comes from China, where they use stuff like hydrofluoric acid. And recently, that supply has been decreasing. So, they're going to have to get graphite from somewhere else. And these guys are able to supply high quality graphite, extremely high quality. And then they also have their lithium battery, their solid state battery that they're pretty far along with. And everybody else is working on this also. And there was an estimate that Volt Carbon is like 2 years ahead of everybody else on this thing. And last, like I said, this reminds me of Bitcoin when it was cheap. So, buy some shares. I would. I have. And hang on to them. And if enough people buy, which I think is going to happen, you'll have some short-term profits. But I would hold on to these for the longer term. Like I said, this is probably the best company I've ever run across. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. And onward and upward, baby.